Once you have made up your mind where you are going, let no one divert you from your goal, and know that you have been preparing for this period for a long time. You have come this far and should by now know exactly what you have been working towards. Your karma should to all intents and purposes almost be at an end, and in this lifetime many of you have elected to clear it away completely. Do not concern yourself if you know that there is still work to be done, as whatever remains at the time of ascension can be covered by the law of grace and is not therefore carried forward. Because of karma, many relationships have suffered, but please remember that once you have left this dimension you can easily come together again. You will accept that your family were put in place for the outworking of the collective karma of you all, and once you drop your roles that puts an end to the matter. Families often incarnate together many times over, and as you can imagine play different roles, even moving from one sex to another, and often reversing their roles. This is one reason why you should refrain from judging others, as until you return to the higher dimensions you will not have a complete picture explaining the whys and wherefores of your experiences. Be assured that of necessity you will at times have played a role as one of the Dark Ones. This does not necessarily mean anything other than that you have had lives with negative attitudes. Everything around you works perfectly in accordance with universal law, and of that you should be pleased. Otherwise you would experience real chaos with little possibility of escaping the consequences. The unenlightened amongst you largely believe that to be the case now, and without your faith in the future see no way out of the world problems. This is why we urge our allies to conclude their activities, so that we can arrange disclosure and move it on to contact with you. It is essential that all of those souls who have little or no understanding of who they really get help. We believe that once we have been officially recognized and invited to land on Earth, our presence will be seen as friendly and our plan to raise you up as acceptable to you. Part of the preparations for it will of course involve removing the Dark Ones from every position of authority, as once we commence the cleansing we want to be able to speed ahead without delays. Isn't the dream now coming true for you, that one day peace would descend upon Earth, and war would be permanently ended? Peace has already commenced, and for some time we have kept the peace on your behalf. Not once, but many times over the last half-century, we have stopped deliberate actions that were intended to start another world war. It even goes on now, but we have stepped in and prevented nuclear devices being used. There are some dark groups that flourish when wars are taking place, and for example have no qualms in supplying arms to both sides in conflict. That has been going on for quite a long time, and has proved very profitable. The dealers in death are being closed down, and their weapons and equipment will soon become defunct. There were times some thousands of years ago when you did not know any better, and the human race was very much inclined to see strangers as a threat to their existence. Now you are coming together, having recognized that you are all one, and that your progress will be best served by cooperation. After all, you are all ultimately going to be heading for the same goal, as you seek to return to the source of all that is. Every soul by some means or another will see us very soon, and we will enlighten you where stumbling blocks prevent you from accepting the truth as will be given by us. At present you are finding it difficult to even consider that your beliefs could be called into question, yet without letting go you will be unable to move on. Do we not say that you should trust your intuition, and that advice is never going to be more important than it is now? This way your higher self will move you into situations that will supply the answers that you need. On top of that you do of course have your guides and angelic beings, and you can turn to them if need advice. You are never alone, but your guides cannot release you from all experiences, as some are necessary for your evolution and for you to go through. Live your talk now, as that is very important at a time when events can appear very confusing to many people. You can then help others with your knowledge, and it will be particularly useful where disinformation is concerned. Sorting the truth from the lies is not for the uninformed, but it can be a powerful challenge even for the light workers. The fact that the media is still very much restrained and subject to censorship does not help, but the fear of contradicting falsities is not as great as it was, and more openness is taking place. Bribery and corruption are almost endemic within many countries of the world, and that will have to change very soon. These matters are all under our consideration, so that we can find ways to assist you. The media must earn the respect of the people, and this equally applies to politics that have been rife with charlatans and criminals. It must change, and change very quickly so that trust is restored. The calls for change from you, supported by the demonstrations that are still active, are ongoing, and the authorities cannot stop them spreading. The energy has, so to say, a life of its own, and is attracted to like energy which receives a boost from it. That this time should have arrived is not surprising, as you have been building up the impetus for many years. Now you are about to reap the reward of your persistence in the face of much resistance, that has been severely weakened by the incoming light energy. Regardless of the ups and downs along the way, you were always destined to win the battle with the Dark Ones, so there is nothing to worry about. You are the victorious ones. In the not-too-distant future we shall be celebrating it together, and what a time we shall have. We do not think you have yet fully grasped what a magnificent achievement it will be, and how far-reaching it will be. A lot of souls depend very much on the outcome, and they are getting ready to rejoice. I am SaLuSa from Sirius and love you all for taking on such a challenge. It has taken you down, but you never gave in and bounced back, showing the power of the light and love. Thank you, SaLuSa.